The Walking Dead universe is now huge. It consists of hundreds, if not thousands of characters, so I thought in today's video we could make a tier list of them all. For far too long on this channel have I been giving the wasted potential of some characters and the genius of others. So in this video, I'm going to be fully transparent and giving you my favourite characters from the entire universe and which characters I'm not so fond of. So you can all judge me and roast me down below in the comments. So without further ado, let's get into the tier list. Right, as you guys heard in the intro, we're doing a Walking Dead universe tier list. Now, this will all be one take, so if I forget anybody's names or don't know anybody, please forgive me. Just for some clarification, I haven't seen World Beyond, so I won't be ranking the characters from there. They will be going straight in NA. So let's start. Aaron. Aaron is a really good character, very solid. I like his storyline. I feel like he gets a little bit neglected after his introduction, and then he gets a storyline again towards the end of the show when the bigger characters left, like Rick and Michonne. I'm going to put Aaron in B though. Solid character. Abraham, again, a very solid character. He's going to go to the top of B for me though. He's not quite that A tier. But it's, again, you know, rest in peace to my favourite Ginger. This guy, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, but it's one of the Alexandrians, the son of whoever owns it. God, sorry. I've forgotten her name as well. He is going in D tier. Spencer's brother, that's who it is. Alden. Alden has a really good character arc in season 11 as well. And it was nice to see him in the Whisper of War. I thought killing him in season 11 might have been a mistake because although he was good, I don't think people cared enough. I don't think it had the impact the writers wanted. But Alden, nevertheless, still a good character. He's going to go in C for me. The Doctor from Fear the Walking Dead, Season 2, can't remember his name. Not the Doctor, the pharmacist, sorry. Who pretends he got bit, but he didn't really. Well, he did get bit, but it wasn't by a walker. He is going bottom of C for me. Next, we've got the woman from, what is it, Flight 502? Anyway, Fear the Walking Dead, the little webisode. She tries to help Alex in the raft and then gets cut loose by Strand, and then blames Travis for it. She, again, is just a bit irrelevant. Only appears in like 2 episodes and a webisode, so 3 total appearances across the universe. She's going to go in D. Yeah. Alicia Clark. I really like Alicia Clark, actually. Although Fear the Walking Dead does get pretty horrendous towards the end of its runtime, I think Alicia was always that steady ship within that show. I mean, Alicia Debenham Carey, great actress. She was very solid in that role. And I think Alicia's a really good character. I might get hate for this, but she's going up there with Aaron and Abraham. She's going to go in between them. Actually, I'm going to bump all of them up to A. So you guys who are roasting me down below can delete your comments. I'm going to rank Alden and the pharmacist up to B. No, I'm going to leave Alden in B, the pharmacist in C. Yeah, that's how. I don't know who this is. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to skip him. We'll go to Alpha now. Alpha, as a human, one of the worst in the show. Let's be honest. Terrible human. But in terms of villains, she's great. So as a character, she's got to go in A. I think the Whisperers, for me, it's a very slept on season 9 of the main show. And I think it kind of gave fans that fear factor of zombies again, you know? Because the Walkers for a long time stopped being a threat within the show, and the Whisperers kind of revitalized the zombie genre within The Walking Dead. So I'm going to put her in A for that. Above Aaron as well. Sorry, I do like... Obviously, Aaron's a lot better human being, but I think Alpha's a great villain. Al from Fear the Walking Dead. She can go at the bottom of D. Actually, no, I really hate Al. She's just making a documentary. She's just a David Attenborough wannabe running around in the apocalypse. So she's going in F for me. Amy, again, just not enough screen time here. So she's going to go in D. And when I say not enough screen time, obviously there's no wasted potential of her character because it was all for an Andrea character arc. But, you know, we just didn't see enough of her to really hate her or like her. So she's going in D. Andrea, she's going in C. Her comic book counterpart, which annoys me so much, could have been so amazing if portrayed on the big screen, sorry. But what we got is just this unlikable kind of mess of a character who the writers didn't really know what to do with, fell in love with the governor, flip-flopped from side to side. She was just infuriating to most of the audience. So I'm being generous and giving her a C here. Anne or Jadis, again, I was going to put her in D, but for all her roles in The Ones Who Live, she plays a good kind of villain. I'd call her a villain. Yeah, I'd say she's a villain. Obviously bribes Rick about knowing who Michonne really is. So yeah, she can sit in C for me. Probably above. No, I'm going to stick her below Andrea. This woman from Fear the Walking Dead. I shouldn't say woman. It's a child. Sorry, I had something in my throat there. Pause. This child from Fear the Walking Dead. It was season 5, right? They're flying a plane into a valley, and it's just. Then Strand comes in a hot air balloon. It's just a mess of a season of TV. Probably one of the worst in the whole Walking Dead universe. And this girl is just incredibly unlikable. Even more so than Al. A lot of that Fear the Walking Dead cast from season 4 are quite unlikable. A rat. So a rat again, I think is good in the limited time that she plays. Obviously gets killed in season 9. And there's also the woman who kills. Oh, what's her name? When Rosita tries to assassinate Negan. I'm gonna whack her in. Top of D. Top of D. She can go top of D. Axel. He's gonna go bottom of C. I liked Axel. Now you might be arguing, why is the pharmacist that high from Fear the Walking Dead? But I actually really like that character. I think it's very interesting, and how they delved into the themes of death in different cultures, such as Mexico. So I'm going to stick up for that character. So Axel's going to go in C for me. Didn't get enough screen time of him. Obviously, there's a video on my channel about his wasted potential, but I think we could have had a bit more from him. I think he died a bit early, but he was very charismatic, and him and Carol seem to be hitting it off a bit, you know. Also has a great mustache, but he's going in C for me. This woman from Oceanside, can't remember her name, never liked her, but she's not down here with Al and that child, so she's going to go bottom of D for me. Henry's brother, I can't remember him. Morgan was training him in the art of Aikido with the stick. I'm going to put him bottom of C. Very limited screen time, but he does give Henry a really good character arc on this, when is it? Season 7, 8, or 9? One of those 3. Forgive me, I've forgotten. We're going through over 20 seasons of TV here, so I'm bound to forget certain events. But gives Henry a very solid character arc. It's just a shame they ruin it by making him incredibly stupid. Beta, like Alpha, is a great villain. I love how tall and imposing he is. He's going to go above Alpha for me. I know Alpha's the leader of the Whisperers, but Beta, the Daryl fight, no matter how unrealistic that fight is, it's just pure cinema. I loved how scary he is. Like, I remember watching the show for the first time and being genuinely terrified when this guy was on screen, because he didn't give a toss about anybody. He was just a brutal savage, and also has a good backstory about being someone famous and then trying to hide his identity in the apocalypse, as obviously he was a country singer called, I think it was Half Moon or something like that. Anyway, great character. He's going in A tier for me. Beth is going in B. For the first few seasons, she just tried to kill herself and was very depressed. But after that, she was good. She was a great kind of mother figure to Judith when she was first born. She had some great scenes with Daryl just before her death. But her whole death arc kind of felt very pointless with the whole hospital and Dawn thing. But yeah, Beth, very solid character. Actually, I'm going to put her above Alden just because she has some really good moments with Daryl. Bob Stuckey, he's going in A for me, above Alpha, below Beta. Bob, he's the GOAT, man. I think he's the most realistic character, as you can probably tell, as one of my videos is about Bob being the most realistic character. But, I mean, his character delves into the themes of depression, loneliness, and alcoholism, and I think they're all very real themes that aren't portrayed much in the main show. So, yeah, Bob, you're going in A for me. Maybe I've made this S tier a bit too hard to attain, because obviously we've got the GOAT tier. But we'll see. This Brandon from Fear the Walking Dead, very unlikable character, but I think that's what makes him good. I'm going to put him at the top of D. He's a naive kind of boy who Travis obviously kills, but very annoying. But I think that's what his character was supposed to do. So in terms of a character, he does his job well. Next up, Carl Grimes. He's going in A. I love Carl. Or S. You know what? I'm going to move Abe up and Carl up and Alicia up to S, because I feel like S is going to be too hard to obtain. Wow, Abraham went from B to S in the space of like 6 minutes. Congratulations, Abraham. Anyway, back to Carl. Carl should have never died. Yes, Chandler Riggs' acting can sometimes be a little bit shaky, but Carl in the early seasons I think is amazing, and I think Chandler Riggs is a good actor. You know, I know there are shaky moments like the fan base make out, but Carl is ultimately who the story was about, or the comics. Obviously it's about Rick, but when Rick dies in the comics, it becomes about Carl, and Carl is the driving factor for Rick wanting to build a better Earth, or a better world I should say, sorry, and we get robbed of that in the TV show. But I think Carl is a brilliant character who, yes, makes some silly decisions at the start and at the end. You know, there was a cringy stage, you know, through season 3 and 4 where he thought he was just that man. But, you know, you're just not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. But still an amazing character. Love Carl. So rest in peace, Carl. Carol, she is going in our... Well, no, we're going to save the GOAT here for, you know, top 3. So she's going to go top at S. Obviously, Carol is an amazing character. You all know about Carol. She's just going top at S. And the distance between Carol and Abraham for me is quite a lot, by the way. But as this tier list fills up, you'll see. Carver, obviously in end of season 10, season 11, great fighter, decent villain, but they didn't really do much with him, right? So I'm gonna put him in the bottom of C. You know, there was a scene where he beat up like Negan, Daryl, and Gabriel, I want to say, there was some scene where he was just a badass, but we didn't see enough of it, and he didn't survive for long enough to feel that imposing as a villain. So yes, he might have been the most skilled at hand-to-hand combat in the entire show, but they just didn't show us enough of it. Celia from Fear the Walking Dead had a very strange, like I was talking about with the pharmacist, she has a very different view on the dead. She didn't view the walkers as dead, really. She viewed them as them coming back and a sign from God. Which she kind of indoctrinated Nick Clark with that idea. Obviously, Madison kills her by locking her up with the loved one she kept in walker form. For that reason, she makes a compelling villain, kind of. I know she's kind of a villain. She sits on a very fine line between villain and not hero. Hero is the wrong word, because who am I kidding? She poisoned a whole church full of children. Yeah, she's a villain. She's going at the bottom of C, below Carver, but still interesting idea. I liked what Fear the Walking Dead did with her character. Charlie, you're lucky you're not going in F, because you killed my absolute GOAT, Nick Clark. You're going at the bottom of D. Realistically, her character's in that C level, but for killing Nick Clark, she's going down to the bottom of D. I don't know who these 3 characters are at the top, so we'll just go to Chris. Chris is straight F. He's going to go above Alan thingy marginally. Why won't that? There we go. Chris, extremely annoying. I think the thing is that makes this character so bad is this is Travis's biological son, right? And I think the writers genuinely tried to make us like him at some points, but he was just unbearable. Thought he knew everything, was vastly, stupid, and got killed out by himself with Brandon. Well, by Brandon, I think, was the one who killed him in that car accident. So, Chris, you're going in F for me just for how unlikable you are. Connie, a new character, you can go in B. But yeah, below Beth and Alden. Decent new character, probably the best out of Luke and the Unico and the others. Connie's probably the best. I like the relationship she had with Daryl. I like the episode with her and Virgil in the haunted house. I thought that was good. I thought it was interesting when they played on a loss of hearing, and I thought she was a bit of a badass for someone who couldn't hear. So yeah, Connie, you can go in B. Carol did you a bit dirty in the Whisperer War, but you came back, you survived. We respect you for it. This pirate guy from Fear the Walking Dead, he's just going to go at the bottom of D because he was a bit irrelevant. Above Charlie, though. Charlie, you're not escaping that for killing Nick. I will never forgive you. This guy from Fear the Walking Dead, Troy's right-hand man. Again, just a bit of a nothing character, so he's going to go in D. A lot of these Fear characters die quite quite quickly, so they're hard to judge. Is this Crazy Dog, or I think this is Crazy Dog from Fear. I can't really tell. The picture's a bit small. Crazy Dog is going to go bottom of C for me. Has a really good moment in season 3 where he saves Nick from the dam with the sniper, hits an insane headshot, which anyone would be proud of. I say anyone, like we're all snipers. Yeah, he hits a good shot, is what I'm trying to say. Good. He starts off as kind of a antagonist because he's Tucker's right-hand man, but you find out he's not really a bad guy. Helps Alicia in the air vents. Yeah, he has some good story arc. We find out he's claustrophobic. He's the only person in the whole entire universe that we know is a claustrophobic. So yeah, interesting backstory to him. This girl from Oceanside, again, she doesn't have much screen time. She's going to go top of D just because we don't... no, bottom of C. I'm going to put Crazy Dog above Celia. Again, we just don't see much of her. The whole of Oceanside just got neglected throughout the whole series. So she's going to sit in C for me. Virginia's sister / daughter, because we find out it's her daughter later on. Incredibly annoying. Also incredibly stupid, and killed John Dory. So on the same level as Charlie here. But she was just a very unlikable character. At least Charlie was redeeming later on and got her justice by Troy. Virginia's daughter can sit in F. Above Chris though. I do like what they did with her. I just found her, I don't know if it's her actor or the way she was written as a character, but just infuriating, and a lot of her decisions didn't make much sense to me. Dale, he's going in S tier. Above Carl for me. It's a shame the Frank Darabont era of The Walking Dead came to an end, and his actor didn't want to be a part of the franchise anymore, because we got robbed of a lot of good Dale scenes. I mean, in the comics, he dies a lot later on, and he actually gets Bob's death, where his leg gets eaten by Gareth and the termites. Well, no, it's not by Gareth and the termites, by some cannibals in front of him. But yeah, would have loved to see Dale stick around longer. It's a shame we didn't see that. Daniel Salazar. He's going to go just below Bob for me. Daniel Salazar is a great character. He does get a bit annoying at the later seasons, as do many of the Fear characters, with his loss of memory and like him keep thinking Ophelia's still alive. It's not great. But early Daniel Salazar, you know, he's an SA secret agent or CIA secret agent from, I can't remember which South American country, but one of them. He's a badass. He tortures the military to find out about Operation Cobalt. He saves not only the Manawa family by letting them into the barbershop, but he also saves the Clarks. And overall, just a very solid survivor. Daryl, obviously in the GOAT tier. Not much I need to say about Daryl. You all know about Daryl. I just love the way that his character flourished over the 14 years of TV, and now obviously in the spin-offs. The Daryl Dixon show, even though season 2 is not great, but love Daryl. He's obviously in GOAT tier. Dawn, again, D tier. Just pretty weird character. Her motives are a bit strange. I don't understand why she rescues people, brings them into a hospital, and then gets them to stay. Her whole operation didn't make much sense to me, and I wasn't a big fan of that storyline. I don't hate Dawn as a character. I just hate the whole storyline and her and Beth dynamic, and why would she want Noah as her personal assistant? I just, who knows? But she's going in D for me. I keep wanting to call her Pamela Milton, but obviously it's not. It's the woman who controls Alexandria, but her name just keeps escaping me. She's going top of C for me, because I really liked how it showed us how unprepared Alexandria were, and she kind of leads that by, she's doing, when the group come in, she's doing video interviews, and she's just so out of touch of what's happening out there, and we see her slowly start to grasp this idea, and that results in her eventually telling Rick to kill Jesse's husband, or I'm losing my trail of thought here. Getting to kill Jesse's husband, and Rick does one of the coldest kills in the thing, where he doesn't even hesitate, just pulls the trigger, and then obviously Morgan shows up. But for me, I think it was a great show to us that our group had, had it really rough actually, and when they came out of being in the wilderness and the post-apocalyptic landscape, they came across Alexandria, and these guys, they had it really good. So yeah, I like that contrast. Next is the Doctor. I can't remember her name again. Sorry, my memory is terrible. But yeah, she's gonna go in below Axel, in between Henry's older brother. Again, this is one of Brandon's friends in Fear the Walking Dead. He can go right here because he's like Brandon but plays less of a role. He has like maybe 6 lines, but still you can just see he's a bit of a, you know, unlikable guy, let's say. I'm not going to swear in my videos, but yeah, this girl from the Kingdom, again, I'm sorry, I don't know her name. She has a couple of decent scenes, but for me, she's going at the bottom of C. And much like the Oceanside, she doesn't get much development. We don't really find out much about her, so she's staying in C for me. Dog, S tier, easy S tier, bottom of S tier. Daryl's best friend. I should probably put them together, but you know, rest in peace to the real life dog that played the dog. Yeah, that's confusing. Real life dog that played the dog. But yeah, rest in peace to the dog. John Dory Sr., not as good as his son. He's going to go on top of B for me. I liked his whole backstory with Teddy, how he was a police detective. His death made little sense to me when he was trying to rescue Mo out of the tower in season 7. Yeah, I don't understand really any thought process that was going on there. But yeah, John Dory, solid character, not amazing. John Dory Sr., that is. Dwight's going in A for me. In the main show, Dwight is so unlikable, but that's a good thing because he's meant to be a villain. He redeems himself in Fear. He has a little family with him and Sherry, and when him and Sherry reunite, it's genuinely a beautiful scene. So Dwight is going to go just below Bob for me. No, just below Daniel actually, because Daniel's marginally better for me. Another kid from Fear the Walking Dead season 5. They rescue like 16 of them. I don't know any of their names, I'm sorry. Gonna go above Al but below Chris because yeah, they're all just a little bit annoying, and that whole storyline, like I said, was so far-fetched. The blacksmith from Hilltop, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Husband of Tammy. I really liked him actually. He can go in C. Yeah. Why won't it let me get in there? There we go. Eastman. Eastman is one of the best characters to only appear in a singular episode of The Walking Dead. Great montage with him training Morgan, and I loved his backstory about being, you know, I can't remember what it was. He a psychiatrist or something, but he evaluated prisoners, and that whole story about the guy who broke out, killed his family, and then he starved him in that cell that he eventually holds Morgan in. Great character. For me, he's just going below Bob there. But one of the best characters, well, if not the best character to only appear in a singular episode. Ed, straight in the goat from it. No, of course not. F. He's going F. Just for being a bad human, you can go at the bottom of F, just because, you know, he beats the goat that is Carol. I don't know who any of these couple are. Then we've got this woman from Fear, from the hotel, the auntie of the guy in the cartel. She was quite annoying. She was the hotel manager. But I also... No, she's going to go in D in here. Wow, there's a lot of Fear the Walking Dead characters in this D category. She just doesn't play that much of a role, but she does have some really good moments. I do like the bit where she goes with Madison Clark to go and get supplies for Strand's injury, and they meet the cartel. I also like the bit where she has all the keys and she's herding the walkers floor to floor. Like, she does have moments of I was about to say brilliance there. That's not the word for it. She has moments of goodness, but altogether, you know, decent character. Elijah, again, had that whole storyline with Lydia where they were like, where he was like trying to move to her, and then it kind of got a bit awkward, and then they ended up together, and then Lydia had to cut her arm off. For me, he's going just below Axel because he, you know, he comes into the show with a mask on and he looks like he's this absolute beast of a fighter, but he kind of loses that as soon as he like breaks off from Maggie's group. But yeah, still a decent character. I take it these are all from World Beyond, or people I'm just totally forgetting about because I don't recognize any of them. Anyway, Enid, I found Enid quite annoying. She's going to go top of C because she has some really good moments. I liked her relationship with Carl, but I found her a little bit like every time I saw an episode of her with her backstory. This might be unpopular opinion, but I just found it a bit cringy, and I wasn't a big fan of Enid. I know most people would probably put her in that B tier, but yeah, not for me. I'm not really recognizing any of these guys at the front here, so we'll just skip straight to Eugene. Eugene, unpopular opinion again. I'm not a big fan of Eugene. He's going to go bottom of B for me. A lot of people give him praise for winning our survivors the war against Negan, but he only did that because let's not forget, he just wanted to be on the winning side. He was ultimately a coward, and he gets a lot of credit for being a hero, but he only did that because he thought Rick's team was going to win. Let's be honest, he was just going to be on the winning side. I do like his little storyline in season 11 where he tries to find love, and it was kind of comical when him and Rosita had their little thing going on. But yeah, he's going in B for me. And Josh McDermott has a very funny way of delivering his lines, so I'll give him a little bit of credit for that. Ezekiel's going in A tier for me. I really like King Ezekiel. A lot of people don't like him, find him a bit cringy the way he talks, but I like Ezekiel. He's going just above Eastman and below Bob. Bob's going to go above Beta, actually. Then we got this guy who Daryl kills. He's a savior, can't remember his name. He uses Daryl's bike while he's locked up. Doesn't have many roles, and he just kind of gets killed and says, "I'm Negan," a couple of times. You are quite unlikable, and it was nice to see Daryl kill you, so you are going to go bottom of D tier. Just for that, the only reason you're going into D is because you got killed in a funny way. Gabriel's going in S tier. I really, really liked the evolution of Gabriel. Just about Alicia can be no, I'm going to put Gabriel in front. He goes from one of the most annoying characters in season 4/5 when the group meet him. No, it's season 5 they meet him, isn't it? After the events of Terminus, Rick and Co save him, and he's very annoying. Not just annoying, extremely annoying. But he transforms into one of the best characters in the whole show, and I think he did a really good job of picking up, when Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera left the show and stuff, and in season 11 and 10 and 11, when there was a lot of the main star power from the cast missing, I think he did a really good job of filling in partially, along with Daryl and Carol, for that star power. Who can forget that season 11 scene with him on the sniper saying, "Call me Gabriel," one of the coldest in the whole show. Gamma's going to go bottom of C here. Yeah, put Gamma there. Gamma has a good little storyline. We learn a little bit more about her in Tales. She's good in the main show. She obviously has her child taken away from her, or her sister's child, isn't it? Taken away from her in the Whisperers and she's raised in the Kingdom, I think. But really solid character, and she turns on the Whisperers, which is the reason they won the war, really, because of her turn. She got a pretty brutal death at the hands of Beta, I think it was. But a decent character, very solid character. The more I talk about her, the more I'm going to whack her up here. Just below, below Axel. We'll whack her there. Perfect. How many times have I said in that sentence? Glenn. I've skipped a couple, but we'll go straight to Glenn here. Glenn, for me, not quite that GOAT tier, but he's the very top of S. One of the most likable, humane characters in the whole show. Stephen Yeun, great actor. Tragic when he died, but I think his narrative did come to a natural conclusion then, and his death did trigger character developments for a lot of other characters, like Maggie becoming a leader, overcoming her grief, Rick with the guilt of Glenn saving him at the start and then him not being able to save Glenn. Overall, great character, really good. He would be in GOAT, but I think GOAT's just going to be a couple. We'll see at the end. He might find his way up there. We'll see. Gareth, as villains go, brilliant villain. Menacing. He's so cold when we first meet him, and he's just slashing people's neck, and he's like, Rick, You know, what was that bag you left in the woods, buddy? And then Rick obviously gives us the red machete line, which is iconic. And he also dies at the hands of that red machete in one of the best deaths in the whole thing. I'm going to put him just below Bob. You know, those two can be together. He's eaten his leg, so they deserve to be next to each other. Bob and Gareth, best friends forever. But yeah, Gareth, great villain. Awful person, great villain. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. My camera died, but I'm back now. This guy, one of the saviors, I'm going to whack him. He was actually quite a nice savior, even though he was quite bad. You know, he was part of the deal, but he didn't want anything to go, like, he didn't want any violence or anything. I'm going to put him in C tier, right around here. You know, he can just sit middle of the pack, you know, just a semi-decent character. Morgan's wife or girlfriend, Grace. Grace, she does get annoying, but I'm going to put her at the top of C because I like her portrayal of post, what's when you give a miscarriage, the depression. Yeah, sorry, I'm just going to call, I don't know the actual name for it, but I like the portrayal of depression through her character and how she was like very sick with radiation at the start, and we showed her mentally how she was trying to cope with the fact that she could have radiation poisoning, and they had us believing that she might have, and then she was fine. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling on about her, but she's going top of C. Gregory, just one of the most unlikable characters in the whole show, but I think that's what made his character good. But even saying that, he's going to sit, I was going to put him in D, but I'm going to whack him in C, just because he's a lot more notable than some of these characters. I'll whack him at the bottom of C, because yes, he's incredibly unlikable, but the character itself, it's done perfectly because he's so unlikable, and that's what the desired effect of his character is. Heath is going to go bottom of B. We needed more of Heath. I really liked him. He was one of the more adept Alexandrians, part of their supply run team, but we didn't get to see more of him, which is a bit of a shame. The guy from the Vatos gang, again, we don't see enough of him, but seemed very friendly. He's going to go in C, just below Crazy Dog. Griselda Salazar, again, don't see very much of her. Poor woman just prays and then gets a sign dropped on her leg and breaks her ankle, but she's going to go in C as well. Griselda's a decent character. Daniel's wife, but again, we don't get to see much of her. We're going to whack her there in C. This guy from the hotel, he's just going to go in D because we barely see him. I mean, he tries to kill Travis, fails, and then is left at the hotel. And then obviously when Strand and Daniel come back to the hotel, everything's gone, so we assume he's dead, but we don't know for sure. Henry can go bottom of B. I liked Henry's character until they made him so silly. When I say silly, I mean downright stupid. Anyway, Herschel. I like Herschel. Herschel can go top of B. And then Herschel Senior. Herschel Senior can go just below Carol. There we go. That's a nice... I like that. I like that that ranking for Herschel. Herschel's a great character. Really blossoms in season 3 and 4. But he obviously does lose his head, which isn't ideal. You do need that to function as a human. The CRM helicopter driver who ends up with Al. Pretty annoying, but she is marginally better than Al, because at least she's not trying to make a documentary. She is going in D tier for me. What's this guy? Is Jake or Jack? I think it's Jack. Jack, the boy from the ship. He's also incredibly annoying. He can go here. I did feel marginally bad for him when Alicia just like outright dipped, but he was so stupid because he was like, Alicia, who do you want to choose, me or your family? You've known me for maybe 40 minutes at max, and I just robbed your boat. So what did he really think the outcome of that was going to be? The rabbi, I really like the rabbi. Don't think he got nearly enough screen time. He's always just lurking in the background of Fear. Other than the one episode where he meets Charlie, he's just lurking around. But for me, I really like the limited screen time he does get. So he's going to sit just below Axel for me. Jackie, the goat. Sorry, Jackie, didn't... Bless her, she gave up. She didn't want to live anymore. But she's also just going to sit in C for me. I liked the limited screen time we did get of Jackie. Good friends with T-Dog, of course. Jack, is this Jack Otto or Jake? Jake Otto, sorry. Jake Otto from the ranch. I like Jake. I'm gonna stick him in B. I think he's a solid character. I don't know who any of these characters are. This guy is just intolerable. That's not even a word. I can't even think of the word I was trying to say. He's bloody annoying though, so he's going to go in F. Yeah, probably bottom of F. He's really bloody annoying. Who is that? Sorry, let me just whack him here. Yeah, I don't know who that is. I'm very sorry because I've missed out like a whole row of characters now. I take it they're all from World Beyond, but if I have... Yeah, I mean, the pictures are quite small for me here, but I can't really see, but there's none of them I recognise. Anyway, Dr. Jenner, he is going to go C for me, just above the pharmacist. We'll have the pharmacist and the doctor together. Otto, Jeremiah Otto. Now, hear me out. As a character, I think he's brilliant. As a person, obviously, again, not so great, but he's not awful. He's just racist, which is pretty bad. You know, I'll take that back. He's very bad. He's racist. He tolerates Troy at the start when he's a bit of a psycho, but I like the character as he's just, you know, a bit of an alcoholic. He's a bit of a loose cannon. I really liked his character, and I think he's acted brilliantly. So I'm going to put him at the bottom of B, and I'm also going to put Jake just above Henry, because I think he's a great character, and I think he's acted really well. Jerry can go at the bottom of S tier. Jerry is just... He can go above a dog. No offense, dog, but Jerry can go above Alicia. Jerry is so likable. I don't think there's a scene where Jerry's not likable. I mean, he split a man in two to save Ezekiel, his boy, and he has a lovely family and a lovely wife. So I just, you know, I wish Jerry the very best in real life and in the show. Love that guy. Jessie, I think that's her name. Rick's love interest. She's going to go top of A for me. I really liked her and Rick's relationship. It was kind of just very unconventional, and obviously in the No Way Out episode she does die, but it was a pretty cool death. Overall, pretty good character. Jesus, he's going to go in A, just below Eastman there. Actually, above Ezekiel, above Beta. You know, in between Bob. Okay, we're going to break Bob and Gareth up. He's going to go second in A tier. Jim, again, didn't have enough screen time. We're going to whack Jim in a solid C tier, just below Rabbi. John Dory. John Dory's a brilliant character. He's going to go in S tier. Where should we put John? Above Dale's maybe a bit strong, but I'm going to put him above Carl. I'm going to put him in between Dale and Carl. I really like John Dory. I think he was a breath of fresh air in Fear the Walking Dead. When it did become a bit stagnant, I thought he was brilliant. And it's a shame he got killed by this little weasel down here. Claimer Joe as a villain. Didn't see him for many episodes, but a great villain. I'm going to put him in B as well. Just for how angry he made you feel. Like, he just let anything slide. Like, one of his men was literally gonna SA Carl, which is pretty heinous stuff. And for that, I'm actually gonna put him in C. You know, who am I kidding? By the way, I should mention, these aren't like likings. These are just how good they are as a character. So yeah, he can go at the bottom of B for me. Judith Grimes, I think for a child actor, is her name Anya Fleming or something like that? It's something like that. I think she's incredibly talented as a child actress. You know, she's obviously starred in a film with Ryan Reynolds. I think she's a great child actor, and I think Judith, no matter how unrealistic she is, because she's an absolute badass, and she can like kill full-on men and women at the age of like 9. Anyway, I think she's a decent character. She's gonna go bottom of A. Yeah, just below Aaron for me. No. She'll go just below Salazar for me, in between Dwight and Salazar. That might be unpopular because she's obviously a grime. June can go in B, just above. No, June's kind of annoying. June can go in C. June can go second in C. She is pretty annoying. I know she has her moments, but she's all round pretty annoying. Don't know who these characters are, so I'm just gonna rate this woman. Forgotten her name. Is it Connie's sister or friend? I don't know if they're related or not, but again, she's decent. She's gonna go above. No, below. She's gonna go bottom of B, right? Who have we got here? Oh, what's this guy's name? You know what? This has made me realise I actually have like the worst memory on the whole planet. His name is. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. Anyway, season 11, good villain, Hornsbill. That's it. Hornsby, Hornsbill. Hornsbill's a bird, isn't it? Hornsby. He's going in C. Actually, he's quite unlikable. He's going to go top of D. But I like the idea, the premise of a power-hungry second in command. I like that. Is her name Laura? Laura needed more screen time. She's going to go in C for me, just below Enid, Dr. Jenna. Yeah, she can go in between there. That looks about right for her. Daryl's ex-girlfriend. What's her name? Absolute psycho. Is it Laura? Is it? I don't know. Laura, as a character, she can also sit in C. Obviously, Daryl has to kill her as she tries and kills Maggie, but she can sit. She can sit there. She'll sit there for now. I actually don't know who half these people are. I don't know if they were from World Beyond or I'm just forgetting who they are. Honestly, my deepest apologies here. Liza. Again, C. Not much to her character. She does introduce us and give us a bit more knowledge on the virus, but again, she dies in season 1, only appears in 6 episodes across the whole Walking Dead universe. Doesn't make that much of an impact. Does turn Chris into a bit of a nutter though, but she's going to sit in C for me. Who we got there? Lizzie. Absolute psycho, but I really like the idea of Lizzie. Having a child psychopath, I think was brilliant, and it was horrible when Carol had to kill her. It was just, but it was very sad, but it felt really brutal and felt quite real, you know, like something that might actually happen if an apocalypse was to happen. So Lizzie for me can sit in C tier as well, just because of like, I don't know, how the realism of her character. I don't know, she was obviously an awful, I was gonna say person, little girl. She was just a little girl. She's like 12 years old, bless her. Oh, I recognise this guy. He's the trucker in Fear the Walking Dead. He can just sit at the bottom of D because he barely gets any time. The water lady from Fear the Walking Dead, she can just sit in there. She helps out at the dam. Where are we? Luciana. Luciana can go in B tier. Luciana can go, yeah, just above Heath. Luciana can go there. Luke can also go bottom of B, just above Connie's sister. I can't remember her name, I'm really sorry. Lucille, Negan's wife, I think A tier, because she's done bottom of A tier. Obviously, she only appears again in 1 episode and probably would rival Eastman for best 1 episode appearance, but that episode is just beautiful, and it's heartbreaking to see her slowly lose her battle to cancer and Negan not being able to prevent it, which ultimately kind of turned him into the villain we saw in season 7. Next up we got Lydia. Lydia can go B, above Claymore Joe, but above Henry. That, you know, we'll put Henry and Lydia together. Lydia, I think, is an okay character. I like the dynamic that she's an abused girl who doesn't want to be under the care of her mother anymore, and it starts the Whisperer War, really. But yeah, Madison Clark. We got robbed of the Dave Erickson era of Fear. I'd love to have seen 7 seasons of her become the villain, and then a showdown between her and Nick Clark at the end. I think it would have been just brilliant. But Madison Clark for me is going to sit in B tier. Actually, no, she's going to sit in A, just above Dwight. I like Madison Clark. She's kind of annoying at the start, and I'll get a lot of hate for my love for Fear, but the love I have for Fear the Walking Dead season 1 to 3 is just unmatched, honestly. Maggie, Here we go. Here's another S tier character. Maggie does get incredibly annoying, in my opinion, towards the end of the show. But all round, an amazing character. Obviously, got spin-offs in Dead City. She's very solid in that. I like her forgiving Negan in season 11. Brilliantly acted. She can go just below John Dory, which I know will anger a lot of people, but I think John Dory is an amazing character. Is it Nadia, or is that the actor's name? I know either her or the actor is called Nadia. Again, she can just sit with... She's probably the best out of those three. She's quite a badass, but yeah, she can sit in B. This woman from Fear, she made no sense. She just wanted to kill people. It was a bit strange. Didn't feel very realistic. She can go down there. Morgan kept trying to change her with his philosophy. Obviously didn't work. Oh, this is crazy dog. So who have I ranked in here? I don't know. I don't know who that is. I'm very sorry. Well, that's Crazy Dog from Fear, who I talked about earlier in the video. That I'll just leave him next to the character. I have no idea who is. Where were we? This guy, I can't remember. Is it Jake? I think he might be called Jake as well. There's a lot of J's in the Walking Dead universe. Obviously, the guy, he's going at the bottom of D, just above Charlie, for her crime against Nick Clark. But taunts Tyrese, who eventually takes his life. But then when Tyrese is slowly succumbing to his bite, he envisions him. He was just a bit of a let's say an unsavory character. Yeah, I recognise this guy, but I can't think for the life of me where. So we're just going to move on to Mercer. Mercer, good character, can go top of B. Yeah, just below Aaron. Mercer can go there. Merle as a character, he's up towards A for me. You know what, Merle? Yeah, I'm going to move Merle into second of A tier. He has a great redemption, but again, I would have loved to see him reunite with T-Dog. Obviously, T-Dog dies before he comes back to the prison, but I would have loved to see them reunite. Michonne, I'm not a massive Michonne lover, but she does just belong up here. Yeah, probably just behind Herschel. I think Michonne does get a little bit annoying towards the end, but season 4 to like 8 Michonne, she was on a generational run. Honestly, amazing. Lizzie's sister, she can go in the same place as Lizzie. Mika, isn't it? Mika can go just below Lizzie actually in C tier, because she doesn't... All her screen time really is getting killed by her sister, unfortunately. Oh, the governor, what's his name? Milton. Again, just decent character actually. Go next to Andrea. You know, obviously died in the same room. So Morales, liked him in season 1. He also can go in C tier, right around just above Lizzie. I wish when they did bring him back in season 8, he'd got more time, because he was on the... When they announced he was coming back, I was like, an OG character from season 1. I was like, okay, I was pumped. And then he appeared for 30 seconds, and I was like, okay, is that what we're doing in The Walking Dead? Because Daryl just comes in and shoots him with a crossbow. Morgan, realistically, you sit in A tier because you have some amazing moments, but you also have some incredibly low lights. I hate the way he was just stuck in this cycle of violence, then no violence, then violence, then no violence. And it just got so boring. And I hated how he came to Fear and just became the face of Fear after... Honestly, I could go on forever about the Dave Erickson era of Fear, but he came in and ruined it. And obviously, there was nothing he could do coming into a show like that with the material he was got. Lenny James is a brilliant actor, but it just got so boring for me. And he has some really good moments in Fear, like season 6, episode 1. But, you know, for me, it tarnished his legacy. He's so good in the main show. And I think Fear tarnished his legacy. I'm sorry. Jerry's wife. Jerry's wife can go in B. Bless her. Lovely woman. She can go... she doesn't get much screen time, but, you know, I'm just rooting for her because she's Jerry's female. I love it. Negan. I'm not the biggest fan of Negan, but realistically, he does belong up here. I'm going to put him just in between Abraham and Michonne. Wow, that's ironic. Abraham and Negan together. Negan, obviously great redemption, but I did feel the show just forced it on us so much at the time. Can't remember this guy's name. Gets Noah killed. Just a bit of a scumbag. He's going in F tier, just above Chris. Nick Clark, he's going straight to GOAT for me. And he's going above Daryl. Now, I know I'll get so much flack for this in the comments, but the way Nick Clark is portrayed, it just shows the apocalypse through a whole different light, which I don't think we ever see in the Walking Dead universe ever again. We see it through an addict's eyes, his mannerisms. I mean, I love the way that he basically had seen demons his whole life, and they say that everyone else can now see them. Frank Delane is a brilliant actor, and even in Fear's shakiest moments, he stands head and shoulders above and steadies the ship. I think Nick Clark is the best character in the whole Walking Dead universe, and it's a very unpopular opinion, but I think the perspective we get and just the way he is, I love the way he's like the OG whisperer. He figures out about the Walker guts masking your scent, and being able to walk with the dead. I love his arc where he, you know, in season 2 where he go in Grotesque, where he makes his way to a community because he doesn't want to be with his family. He doesn't like who they're becoming. He has that initiative. I just think we have never had another character like Nick Clark, and for me, he's the best character in the whole universe. I love how adapted he is for this world. Noah's a B tier character. We got robbed of a lot. We needed more Noah, basically. I like him around Beth, and I think he's a good character. We got teased. He was going to become an architect of Alexandria, but then he died 1 episode later, bless him. But yeah, Noah, very good character. Ophelia, I like Ophelia. Ophelia can go in B tier, bottom of B tier. Yeah, I really like her storyline. I like that the show showed us that she didn't reunite with her dad, and it eats her dad alive every day, as they were, you know, separated for 2 seasons almost. And just as it looked like they were about to reunite, she's bitten and she dies just before he gets there, bless him, and he's forced to put her down. So yeah, Denise, is this Denise? Denise, I found a bit annoying. She's going in D. As a character, I mean, she's meant to be likable, but she's just not really that likable. Otis can go in C. Died a hero. I probably should have put some of the, realizing this, probably from like Elijah down. I probably should have put them all in D. But yeah, oh well, it's too late now. The Wolf, he's just so unlikable, isn't he? The leader of the gang. I don't know his real name. But yeah, he's just very unlikable. But as a villain, he's a solid villain, you know. You love to hate a villain, and he does get a little redemption by saving what's her name in the No Way Out episode. He sacrifices himself. For that, he's going in just there for me in D tier. Milton. Oh no, I can't remember this guy's name, but he's a solid member of Alexandria. You know what? He's going towards the top of A here. He was a solid. He's just always around. Do you know what I mean? He was always there helping Michonne. He was like her left-hand man in command or whatever. Pamela Milton, decent character. She can go above. Yeah, she can go just below Jackie. She's a semi-decent character. I'm not sure she's good enough. Sorry, I was tripping over my words there. Good enough to be the final villain of the show, but still, you know, pretty solid character. Jesse's wife, F tier. He's just very unlikable. Liked it when Rick died. He can go there. Pope's pretty underwhelming character. Good premise, but we don't really see much from Pope. Had good potential. Princess, I find her a bit annoying, but she can sit in C for me. Proctor John, this is a character I wish we'd seen a lot more of. Obviously wanted control of trading routes from Mexico down to Texas in Fear the Walking Dead, but again, due to the Dave Erickson era coming to an end, we didn't see his character fleshed out. But I loved his Bazaar. Is it called the Bazaar, the stadium? I loved that he ran that. I loved his ambition. I really, really enjoyed him as a character and a villain, and I really like the actor who plays him. So for me, he's going up here above Enid, just because of the what if. Now this, I'm not sure who this is, but I think he's a teen from Hilltop. I think. I'm not entirely sure. Randall. Randall can just go in C tier. Has a very cool name, doesn't he? Randall. Monsters Inc. This guy's incredibly unlikable. He can go in here. Fear the Walking Dead season 2 gets held captive at the boat and then talks his way into getting shot by Chris, which is kind of the beginning of the end for Chris. The founding father of Alexandria can go in C tier. He doesn't really have that much role and then gets killed by Jesse's husband. I think that's her name. I'm worried I've got that wrong. This guy from the Kingdom, again, can't remember his name, but gets Henry's older brother killed. I liked his mind was in like the right place though, realistically. So yeah, here we go. Ricky Dicky Doodah Grimes for me is the second best character in the Walking Dead universe. Now I know a lot of I know that's going to be an incredibly unlikable top 3 in terms of me having Nick Clark number 1. But Rick Grimes, honestly, the GOAT of the main show. So many of the best moments in TV history come from that man right there with the beard. But yeah, what can I say? Absolute GOAT. The guy from the Submarine, he can just go D tier. Didn't really do much, did he? RJ. What can I say about RJ? RJ's a decent character, but people hate on his actor. Feel a bit bad, but RJ's going to go next to Miko because he doesn't really play that big of a role in anything. This guy, I recognise this guy's face, but I'm not going to rank him because I can't remember who or what he is. The guy that shoots Carl in the eye. Jesse's son. He can just go F tier because he was kind of annoying. Rosita. She's going up to S tier. I really like Rosita. She's going to go above Negan, above Michonne for me, actually. I really like Rosita. I think she's a great character, but I'm happy they killed her off because I feel like her character was probably one of the most unrealistic in the whole show. But again, very solid character. This guy who Carol meets doesn't really play much of a role, gets killed by Gareth. It's a nice Easter egg, though, as we see him in Terminus. So I kind of like that. This woman from Fear, can't remember her name. She has the brother in a wheelchair. She's going to go bottom of C. Actually, she has some one-liners. She's going to go... Yeah, she's going to go above Princess, below Jim. Sasha. Sasha can go B tier for me. Above Lydia. Above Heath. Yeah, that's fine for Sasha. So B tier is fine. She did a very noble thing by taking her own life to try and keep Alexandria alive. Shane. Shane is going S tier for me. Yeah, Shane's going second in S tier. I really like Shane's character. He plays the shadow to Rick. He's a great antagonist for the first 2 seasons. And he showed us the brutality of this new world. And he really opened our eyes. And he saved the Walking Dead universe, in my opinion. That's a video for the future. But they were very low on budget for season 2, right? They didn't have enough money to do big Walker fights. And the dynamic between Shane and Rick saved the series. It got renewed for season 3, and we all know what happened after that. But Shane and John Bernthal, brilliant, just superb. I love them. I wish they'd... Obviously, I don't wish Shane had survived because it's part of the story, but, you know, it had to happen. But a great character. Sherry, I like Sherry. She does get a bit repetitive and annoying, but she can go just above Jeremy Otto in B tier there. Shiva, welcome to A tier. You can go above Mercer, below Aaron. My favourite tiger in the whole... Someone actually said in one of my videos that I should do a tier list on tigers in The Walking Dead. So this one is specifically for you if you're still watching. But yeah, Shiva in A tier. Sadiq, I really like Sadiq. Shame he got killed off. It made Carl's sacrifice feel a bit meaningless, bless him. But Sadiq can also go Just below. No, he can go B tier in here, just above Beth. No, Beth's slightly better than Sadiq in my opinion. Simon, great villain. I really like Simon. He's going to go above Proctor Joe. Yeah, he can go above all of these characters, just below Sasha. I really like him. Very evil man. Negan's second in command, but then he gets a bit power hungry. But yeah, really good character. Skidmark from... Skidmark can go at the bottom of B from Fear the Walking Dead. Don't know why Skidmark's on the list. But yeah, Spencer, very unlikable character. But again, that's kind of what his character's meant for. But for me, going at the bottom of D. Eugene's girlfriend, she can go just above Skidmark. She's kind of likable. I forget her name. I'm really sorry. Bad with names. But yeah, Strand. Strand's a hard one. I'm going to put Strand just below Gareth. I really like Strand until season 7/6, 6 and 7. He becomes insufferable. I hate his character in season 7. His motives make no reason. He's just, yeah, I don't like him. But early seasons of Fear the Walking Dead, he is brilliant. So that's what brings him up for me. So he's hanging on by a thread in A tier, in the middle of A tier. I think that's a good spot for Strand. T-Dog. T-Dog can go just below Jesus. I like T-Dog a lot. I think his character was good. Carol was obviously going to be killed off, but then they ended up killing T-Dog off. And I've heard it because it was Iron E. Singleton, the actors, was always late on set. But who knows? It's not confirmed. But apparently, if he was on time, he wouldn't have been killed off. So we might still have a T-Dog. What's her name? Tammy died in the lineup. Very likable character, actually. I'll put her next to her husband in C tier. They can be together one last time. Tara, not a big fan of Tara, but she can go just above Henry. Tara's kind of annoying. I know a lot of people don't like Tara. But I don't like her, but I don't hate her like a lot of people do. Teddy, as a character, is good, but as a human, it's genuinely awful. He was a serial killer before the apocalypse, and then he just bombed Texas, decided to nuke it like he was playing COD. But Teddy, as a character, I think he's a great villain. So for me, he's going to go just above Princess, I think, in there, in terms of character. The Governor is a brilliant character. He's going in S tier. He's the first truly evil person, like fully evil, I think we see in the whole show. And the craziest part is he's been toned down from the comics. He can go just below Carl, one of the best villains of all time. Philip Blake, you can sit in S tier, my friend. Even if you did kill Herschel. Rest in peace to Herschel. Thomas, again, you can sit in just below Otis, one below Otis. He tries to kill Rick a couple times. He's a prisoner, a bit of a savage, gets a machete to the head in result. So yeah. This is the man, what's his name, that Carol cozies up to. He's going in D tier, doesn't play much of a role. He's an Alexandrian. Unico's brother, we barely see. He's going to go in D as well, because we barely even see him. Travis can go S. I think Travis is Cliff Curtis, brilliant actor. It's such a shame he got signed to do Avatar. We got robbed of a couple more seasons of Travis at least. We just seen him start to unleash the inner beast, you know. He just survived that pit of walkers. He was just starting to let himself, you know, go a bit feral, which we were all waiting for, because he was one of the last people to hold on to his humanity and fear. But for me, he's going just above Rosita in there. I'm tempted to put him near the top of S, just below Shane, but I'm gonna leave him there. Actually, I prefer him to Carol. You know, hold a gun to my head. I'm sorry. I know I'm biased to these fear characters, but Travis is going there for me. Really like Travis. Who have we got next? Oh, I've forgotten this guy's name. I'm not gonna rank him. Troy. Troy is another S tier character. He can go just above Abraham. I just love that he's like a psycho, but he's got a lot of backstory to him. His relationship with Nick. A lot of people try and ship them. I think that's quite strange. but I liked his dynamic with Nick, the way they kind of bounced off each other and brought out, you know, they were so different but also so similar. They were just kind of lost in the world that they lived in, and the apocalypse kind of made them both, which I quite liked. So yeah, Troy can sit in S. Tyrese can sit at the top of A, just below Morgan. For me, Tyrese is a great character, and also I don't know if it's canon in the TV show, but in the comics he's a former NFL player. Who have we got here? Virgil. I like Virgil. Virgil can sit in C, top of C for me. The whole Bloodsworth Island, I thought he was going to get a bigger role in the show, but we don't really see him, and the last time we saw him was in Oceanside, when Michonne gives him that orange backpack, the infamous orange backpack. So yeah, Virginia, decent villain, quite unlikable. She's just mid, isn't she? Going in C. I felt like she was Fear's version of Negan. She had this big build up, had this big reveal, had a lot of communities, a lot of manpower, a lot of gunpower, but she was just kind of a B-Tech Negan in my opinion, and what Fear tried to do kind of fell flat on its face a little bit. Tucker, again, we're robbed of another storyline with Tucker. Him and Crazy Dog, I'll put him next to Crazy Dog, just above Crazy Dog. Very good introduction into the show. You know, obviously seen him scalp someone on the mountain, and his conflict with Jeremiah, but again, we didn't get enough screen time with him, so that's what's keeping him in C for me. What else have we got here? The guy in the wheelchair from Fear, I can't remember his name. He's kind of funny. I'm going to put him, he has some comical moments. I'm going to put him next to Randall here. The artist from Fear the Walking Dead, he dies in season 7. Sorry for spoilers. He can go in D. I found him quite unlikable. Like, he could be good. There was some episodes where I thought, oh, actually, I quite like this guy. And then other episodes, I was like, oh my gosh, I hate this guy. Like, yeah. So for me, just a bit of nothing. Unico, I really didn't like her. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to put her down here at C, because I don't know what it was. And that whole lawyer scene with Eugene at the end made me cringe a lot. I just really didn't like her character. Sorry to all the Unico lovers out there. Okay, next up we've got Pearl. Now, this is a show I've watched recently, The Ones Who Live, so I'll remember all the characters from this show, I promise. Pearl, I liked Pearl. I didn't like her ending. I think she went out far too weak, like the showdown with Rick, but I liked that her and Rick were similar people when they came in, and it showed us the different paths that the two characters ended up taking, and it ended up converging in them having a little showdown. I think Pearl was a really good character in The Ones Who Live as well. Okafor, Sergeant Okafor, one of the most unexpected deaths for me. He's going to go at the top, near the top of B. He's going to go just below Ezekiel. One of the least expected deaths for me. I really didn't think he'd die in episode 1 anyway. And I liked his dynamic with Rick again. When they had that fist fight, it was very good, very well done, and he's just a generally good character, so he's going to sit in A for me. Monet, Madame Genet from Daryl Dixon. Her motives made minimal sense to me. She's going to sit in just below Dawn, because I don't know, her whole reasoning for getting the boy, it made no sense, and yeah, she died far too soon, and it was all... Daryl Dixon was just a bit of a mess, let's be honest, season 2. Ash, I quite liked Ash. Ash is going to sit near the top of B for me, just above Sadiq. No, he hasn't had that much screen time, just below Sadiq. Very solid. I hope we see a little bit more of him in season 3, even though he's back in America now. I'm not sure how much of him we actually will see, but fingers crossed we see a little bit more of him. Isabel, my favourite new character introduced from Daryl Dixon. She can sit just above Rose. Actually, no. You know what? She can sit just below Madison. Very good character. I liked that Daryl finally got his romance, who wasn't a complete psycho. Okay, coming down to the final few. Also, I've just remembered this is the guy that Nick kills, the Vulture, which results in Charlie dying. Charlie shooting Nick. So he can also go down there, because the Vultures, for me, are the most pointless antagonist group of all time. their whole like philosophy is they turn up at communities and they wait for things to go wrong. It makes zero sense, and if that was a real life thing, they would have just been killed. But anyway, yeah. Laurent from the Daryl Dixon show, really good. I was really impressed with the actor, actually. The child actor's been very solid. I'm going to rank him just below Simon. General Beale. General Beale's a really tough one for me because he has promised to be. He's going to go at the bottom of A. Next, just above Pearl, actually. They can go together. Just not fleshed out enough, you know. It's a great premise, a great character. He has like 3 armies at his disposal. He has this plan to get the human race back on track and running. He's a very strict and driven man, and I think he made a great antagonist. It's just a shame that we only saw him properly for 1 episode, and Rick kills him and his whole army in 1 episode. It feels like a series of events that should have happened over the course of like a season, or at the very least 3 episodes. But yeah, it's a shame with Beale because I do think he's a good character. Right, so you may notice the extremely handsome man from the corner of your screen has now disappeared. I'm really sorry, my face cam is playing up today, so I'm going to have to rank the last 2 without a face cam. I'm very sorry. But Falou, a great character, probably my second favourite introduced into Daryl Dixon, behind Isabel. I'm going to put him just next to Beale. I like that he's fleshed out quite a lot. He gets a happy ending. He gets a girlfriend, well, I suppose. And I don't think we'll ever see him again in the Walking Dead universe. But there's always a maybe. He obviously stays behind in France as Daryl, Catrone and Carol head into the tunnels with the Scottish pair. A lot of the Daryl Dixon aren't on this list, which is kind of strange because it says every Walking Dead character or universe character. Nate, we'll move on though. Nate from The Ones Who Live can also go in B. I liked Nate. He's just going to go above Claimer Joe. And then I'll whack all of these in NA while I talk about Nate. So Nate, for me, is a good character. He's in the episode with King Batch. He dies in The Ones Who Live when Rick and Michonne reunite as he shoots down the helicopter. And I think he's a really good character. He just is missing something. He's slightly irritating for me, but you know, he's still worthy of that B category for me. So whilst I move all of these lot into the NA category, let me know what you guys think of my ranking here. I take it a lot of these are from World Beyond then, because I've just never even watched that show. I recognise a couple of their faces, but I wouldn't be able to tell you who they are, hence why I can't rank them. Which, apologies, for a Walking Dead YouTuber, poor from me, very poor from me. I know this woman's from the main series, but I just can't remember her name or what she does, really. So I'm just going to have to keep... And this is Strand's husband. Sorry, this will be my last ranking. Strand's husband, he's very solid in the couple of episodes we see him. But I'm just going to put him below Madame Genet in there. I think he's called Thomas, I believe. So these are the characters that I have no idea who they are. So I'm going to shove them all in NA and end my ranking here. So yeah, sorry for not finishing with my face cam, and sorry for a very long-winded video, but these are my whole Walking Dead universe rankings. So you can see my top 3 is Nick Clark, Rick Grimes and Daryl Dixon. Then in the S tier, obviously we got the likes of Glenn, Shane, Travis, Carol, Herschel, Rosita, Michonne, etc, and so on. I'd like to clarify, obviously, if it was based on like a different category of ranking rather than not my favourites, but like, I don't know, the goodness or purity of their heart, obviously Dale and stuff would be at the top. But this is just my opinion, and I know the audience, you guys in the comments, are going to rip the living daylights out of me for having this man in number 1. Because I know Nick Clark's a fan favourite, but it's quite uncommon to see him ranked above the likes of Rick Grimes, Daryl Dixon, Shane, Glenn. But for me, he just is. Now, obviously, I explained it when I ranked him, but I just think it's such a unique character that we've never seen replicated in the Walking Dead universe. But yeah, if you guys are new, please like and subscribe. This is my completed ranking for the whole Walking Dead universe. Let me know if there's anything you would change, because I know a lot of you would change a lot about this list probably. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.